highly anticipated Season 2 of Walking Dead based by comic book is finally here. All that remains is a title for first episode, and in which will be reportedly spoken in next couple of weeks until we don't see a new episode in our collection. Right before Christmas, in those cold days, nostalgia is alive again, and it's taking us in Walking Dead world where story is followed by dynamic situations and very hard choices in which you are making difference between life and death, good and evil. As it was announced, you're taking the role of Clementine, alone, sad and not so young girl anymore. Without anyone to listen or anything to follow, she is left on her own to decide what is right and what is wrong, what will help her in surviving, to show what she learned from Lee during whole previous season. With brutal ending of last season and probably one of the hardest choices through whole game in front of Clementine, which basically was culmination of story, developers prepared whole new adventure from her perspective couple years after incident. She is now stronger than ever, but she is full of desperation with her efforts to survive, which makes every choice more important than before. Group which Clementine encounters has some strong relationships, but unfortunately there is not enough background story of characters which would fulfill whole player experience. You will feel that something is happening among them, but developers decided to keep everything secretly until next episode, where we will probably see true faces and which characters are the problem or followers as it used to be. This first episode is bringing you feeling that you are going through 90 minutes of prology or announcement for what will happen further through season, while the game is keeping you with anticipation and impatience to guess what will happen next. As we mentioned, she was alone and she grew in a bad world. She did some things which she would never do, so she became a new person, and she's definitely not the Clementine which we used to know. You will encounter some really dark dialogues and be a bad, but at the same time just manipulative person, since most of the good answers are still fairly arrogant. I would dare to say that this episode is all about manipulation and surviving, of course.
Whose baby is it?
Excuse me?
If it's not Alvin's, whose is it?
You shut your fucking mouth.
Killing and punching zombies, including shooting at their head, is now nothing comparing to what you will see in upcoming episodes. So, if you have stomach problems, I would recommend prepared finger on your monitor or simply doing exercises by turning your head left and right as fast as you can. Since the game is based on comic books, developers didn't want to improve or change anything in regards to graphics, which is perfectly fine from my point of view, since after all, those graphics were basically trademark for all episodic Telltale games which were released so far. Lovely and sentimental music is still in background with refreshing interface for choices and interacting with items. While in Season 1 we had couple choices one under another, now they are shown in 4 fields where you can clearly see what choices you have and pick unwanted one. For every object you have couple icons in every direction and you need to choose them separately, while in Season 1 you needed to navigate through them by scrolling or choosing number on keyboard. Unlike in Season 1, here you might encounter some graphical glitches and low frame rate encoding during some scenes, but nothing which would decrease your enjoyment. Whole upcoming season seems more psychology oriented, full with arrogant, brutal and really manipulative choices to make, but still without any clue from this episode what is this whole season about.